Okay, we'll go ahead and call the February 15th Springdale Airport Commission meeting to order. If we can get a roll call, please.
Neil Johnson, Greg Collier,
Here.
Andrew Barker, Joel Gardner,
Here.
Steve Smith,
Here.
Bill Schoonover,
Here.
Greg Willoughby.
Here.
And if we can, are there any questions about the minutes from January 18th? Have you had a chance to look at those?
I vote we approve them. I move we approve them.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Minutes are passed. Comments from the audience? Do you have anyone here to?
Just want to give you guys some feedback from the pilot standpoint on the restaurant. Everybody is absolutely loving it.
Oh,
We've
good.
been sending pilots up buying lunches for them, trying to make sure that they're going up there and participating, eating there. Nothing but positive feedback.
Awesome. Now, when did it open officially?
Tuesday, last week.
A week ago. Okay, good. Yeah, I've already heard some positive comments from it, so that's good. Anyone else? All right. James, will you give us our operations report?
Yes, sir. We had a tower get blowed down over the Jones Center. So one of our little mall approach towers is on the ground, so we unwired it yesterday. Had the tower in the shop. When the new legs come in, we'll build it and get it set back up.
When did that happen?
Last Wednesday, I believe, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I think we had higher winds today than we did then.
I know it. So
Would've
I know a lot
happened
of
regardless.
this one- Yep. As far as our hangar rentals, we're doing good. Afterglow on that office,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll skip, I'll go back up to Gary Howard. We posted notices on all 4 of his spots. Storage unit, 2 hangars in the office. So that was posted back on 2/2. It has to be posted for 3 days and then it was gonna serve him, but so far they can't find him. So she's proceeding on with everything else. So we have it posted on his hangars and everything.
Do we know what action we can take if we can't get in touch with him? Can we move the stuff out? Can we sell the stuff? Can we?
Yeah, that'll be something that we'll have to get cleared up through the city attorney. But I assume we should be able to move his planes to the T hangars and personal belongings into our shops. At least they're secure, so we can start renting out the hangars if we got people wanting to go in them.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'd have to get clarification to the city attorney.
Okay.
She couldn't be here today, but maybe we can get her here next month and give us an update on this.
And hopefully by then they'll find Gary.
Mm-hmm.
And we have people waiting in the wings that will immediately move into those hangars,
Yes.
correct?
We've got roughly 22 names on a waiting list.
Are the notices physically still there? He hasn't come in and torn them down or anything?
Now, I've got them sealed in plastic containers and screwed to the building.
Okay, so permanently affixed.
Yes.
Or
You got a waiting
temporarily.
list for 22? Are they for closed hangars? How's our open hangar deal look?
We're down to like 6 bays open in our open tickets.
We still need to close those, don't we?
We need more closed hangars.
Yeah, we're getting another quote to get that other one enclosed.
What
We're working on it right now.
Yeah, what we really need is one really nice big hangar and a group of enclosed smaller.
Wonder if there's any chance that we can have Mr. Howard out to allow these people in by even the 1st of March? Is that being
It's gonna
way
come
too
down to
optimistic,
him being
or,
served, it sounds like.
You know,
Yeah,
City
I don't think
attorney's
they're
gonna have
that
to-
done in time, honestly.
be nice.
You could almost, no, you can't, because he's double his rent, and lost rent,
Yeah.
and back rent, you know.
So, one quick thing, you said, if we get to that point, move his aircraft out, take his personal items and put them in storage.
Well, secure them in our shop down there.
How much room do you guys have to secure somebody else's trash?
It would be the point where we'd have to pull our equipment out to secure his.
I would make the recommendation, if we get to that point in time, go get a Connex box And that's just something that goes on to his rental fees, is missing money, that we're having to store that for him. It's in a secure location, it's not climate controlled, it's in a Connex box that can be drugged from one side of the airport to the other, and it doesn't take up any of your space and doesn't inconvenience you or your team.
Right,
Well, let's wait and see how it plays out. We may not have
Right.
to come to that, but
right.
she did say here, we'll hire a process server to serve the suit, and there's no getting around that.
All right.
So, I mean, our hands are tied until,
And the other thing that I'm sure the city will look at is the liability. You move those planes to a T hangar, and if they're damaged, do we have a liability because we facilitated the move? I mean,
Right.
that, the city attorney will have to make that thing, but that's something we need to be concerned about.
Right.
well, we can bring these to her attention next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, because us personally wouldn't touch aircraft,
Right,
so.
right. Yeah. So those are things that we don't want to put ourselves and the airport in jeopardy because we did something.
Have you spoken with her personally?
Sarah?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Have you asked those questions?
No.
What can we do, what can't we do with their belongings?
Not yet.
You might ask her that before the meeting, so she may need to do a little research on that before she meets with us.
Yeah, because she's got paperwork that I have to sign after I posted those on her door. So I figured once she calls me and says those are ready to sign, I'll go up there and meet with her and
Gotcha.
let her know.
Okay, perfect.
On the Afterglow, Jonathan Rose on 14-1 in Office A, he decided to go a different route. So he's going to be releasing that hangar and office at the end of this month. So it was just too far from his big operation over here. It just wasn't going to work out what he wanted. So I've got call into Dr. I forget what his name is, but he's next on the hangar list. So it shouldn't be a problem getting it filled out there again.
Will we be out any at all, or will we make a clean?
We should be a clean break. Yeah, by the time their notice is done, we should have someone ready to go in it.
Okay, good.
Have anything you want to say?
Not really.
Okay.
No, I can introduce myself. I'm Jeremy Archer. I oversee operations here, Afterglow operations here in Springdale.
Okay.
Jonathan and Josh are still very much a part of things, but they spend a lot of their time in Fayetteville, and we have operations in Shreveport and Tulsa too. So that's why I wanted to come and show my face and just make sure that we're all on the same page. And
So he's not going to be doing any of the renovations,
No.
or that's totally off the board then?
Right. We're going to have Office B over there still, an unfinished product.
Okay?
So if we want it remodeled, it's on us, or just leave it sitting vacant for now. I don't know why the leadership class is on here, but we went to Little Rock Monday and Tuesday and had our picture taken with the governor and toured the
I'm not sure
Capital.
all of them know what the leadership class is.
Springdale leadership, is for future leaders of Springdale. So I'm in that this year. So we went to the Capitol, had our picture taken with the governor, and met with a lot of different division heads up there. So it was very educational.
I went through it, it's a good program.
Yeah, very nice. So that was our Monday, Tuesday class was in Little Rock. So
Okay.
that was a lot of fun.
Good.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you, James.
Thanks, sir.
Wyman?
I met this morning with the fire marshal and the fire chief and Jeff Mann on his hangar. There seems to be changing issues on it. The big issue is fire protection for the hangars and the fire flow. And there may be a need for us to pave part of that road that we used to use going down to the hangar, that we're in hold up a fire truck so that they'll have fire protection, because they require paved surface to get to a fire hydrant. On the other one, we've got the access road. The long-range plans, I'm talking long range, that we might acquire more of that property south of it. If we did, then that road and water line could serve both rows of hangars and stuff. But
For the short term, do we need to do something before that?
Pardon me?
For the short term, do we need to do something before that, or?
We may need to pave to the end of the hangar, but I want to talk to Adam and look at some cost and know what it involved before we go further with it. I just found out from the the fire marshal about it. Well, we were trying to resolve where to put the fire hydrant and get the flow that we need. Well, if we run it off the end of the other line, you don't get the flow that you need. You have to have two lines. And we've got one line going down behind the hangars on the north side. If this one comes down the other one, then they can hook two fire trucks up and they've got adequate flow to fight fire. So it wasn't a simple issue, but we're probably gonna need to look at the easement. I know we've got some kind of easement on that road, and we may have to go ahead and pave part of it before they build the hangars, or get finished with the hangars anyway. I wouldn't want to pave it till the water line's in the ground, because I don't, or make sure where it's gonna go, and I haven't looked at that yet. Stuff, but
Maybe the city will have a little extra pavement when they do 48th Street out there. They can just come drop a little for us.
We might be able to get some in-kind paving.
Well, they'd be close over here when they do forward.
True.
yeah, so that's a potential that might come, but Jeff is working hard trying to get all the permissions he needs to build the hangars, and I think this was probably one of the last ones that he's got to comply with.
Good.
To build the hangars, so he's still working as hard as he can go on the hangar project. Meanwhile, the time is ticking off before they revert to our ownership. Even though he's not getting the benefit of it, that clock's still running.
Mm-hmm.
James and I went to the FAA conference, the first one they've had since 2012, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
And we shook all the appropriate hands, made sure that they knew we were there, and did all the politicking that we needed to with FAA. The first lecture they had was on asphalt maintenance. It was extremely rudimentary, and I felt like it was that the conference was probably a waste of time if you were expecting to get any technical data. I mean, even I, as an accountant, knew as much about asphalt maintenance as what they were.
It was like they was talking to the elementary school.
Really?
I mean, it was a poor selection of topic for that group, but I think the more important that we did put in a presence, we logged in it, we participated, and we were there. They had limited seating capacity, and this conference was by invitation only. If you didn't have an invitation, you couldn't register. And they limited how many all the engineering firms could send and stuff like that. So we didn't bring it up to the commission to see if any of y'all wanted to go, because we didn't have but 2 invitations for us. But we made it down there and back safe, and everything was good. I think we've got the best group of FAA staff to work with that we've ever had. Before, there was always one in the group that was holding back, it seemed like, and now I think we've got more positive feedback. The biggest change that is coming about, we do our 5-year plan. I think they're going to switch to 10-year plan. Now, I struggle to come out with a 5-year plan, but a 10-year plan is going to be an effort the first go around. I think you need a younger man like James here to think out 10 years. I'd be good to think about next year. But they're eventually going to require us to submit a 10-year plan.
Any conversations around our airport with them?
The last conversation we had was, they were talking about the east side taxiway extending. I think we showed extending it to the, and I think we're going to the technical name, threshold, and they wanted us to extend it to the end of the asphalt.
Right, very far north end. I think they even said that they would recommend not doing the threshold connector, just to do the north end. So,
Right, they didn't want any connections over to the runway until it got to the end. And then, they made a comment that our long-range plan for the other side of the property, where the property is that we were looking to acquire, had proposed buildings past the threshold. And that brought in several complications that we need to be aware of and make sure we comply with if we get to the point of building those.
What, like height or?
Don't know what those restrictions would be, but we hadn't got that on the agenda. I was expecting Neil to bring it up, but we've got some issues with that property. And that the big vacant piece of property we were looking at just sold. And so
We stirred the pot.
I don't think it's gonna be developed. I think they're buying it to hold it.
Do we know who bought it?
Yeah.
Do we know who bought it?
Yeah, but we're not approved it, so
Is it a big company in Northwest Arkansas?
big money.
I've heard there's a big company. going around buying
Associated with a big company.
Yeah.
I think they're probably buying it to reserve it as green space. But I want to talk to Adam and let him look at the property up on Emma. Because I think that if we bought those, just the property, 3 pieces of property that's on Emma, that there's possibly still enough room to build a terminal up there and have an apron to park one airplane on it. But I want him to look at all the setbacks, the restrictions and everything to make sure before we proceed on. Neil asked us to hold up on finishing the review appraisals until we decided what we were doing. So we've already passed that on to the appraisal company in Little Rock.
Okay. Anything else, Wyman?
I was just thinking today that all the airport commissioners should be extremely proud of the airport terminal and what y'all have accomplished with the renovation and all the improvements we did out here, the access road and everything. It's a prize, a plum for Springdale to have this airport here in the terminal building. And it has a tremendous reputation, I think, in the aviation industry.
Thank you for saying that. So apparently Adam is not here for a Garver update.
he got meetings in Little Rock got changed. So he emailed me saying that he hated not to be able to make it. And that pretty much everything on the Happy and Vassy is up to par. They're hoping to be done by Saturday, weather depending tonight. But Mike in the tower emailed the electrician, said, hey, if you want to come out earlier, we'll work it on the radio with you and let you do work during the day and just clear if we have aircraft so you can get more done prior to the storm at midnight.
Okay.
So that's possible. So far they're looking like they're on schedule depending on the weather
They
tonight.
can't turn it on until FAA does that flight test.
Right.
And the email that they do a flyover and make several practice runs at it to make sure that it's working correctly. And they sent me an email about a month ago. They said they sent an email and copied Adam on it, and Adam can't find it, and I can't find it either. But it's a contract for us to pay the FAA to do that flyover. And I just got it yesterday and approved it and sent it back. So it may be a little delayed until we can get a check in their hand to do that flyover to test it.
So they've got all the pads set. They got the runway board last night. So today or tonight they're supposed to pull wire and pull out the old system.
Okay.
So just out of curiosity, how much is the FAA charging us to do one of their required flyovers?
Pardon me?
How much is the FAA charging us to do
5,000?
a required flyover?
We have to pay the actual cost, and they estimate it, I think last time it was like $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah.
It's mostly fuel for the plane.
Yeah, well, they use a King Air, don't they, for that? And that burns
Yes.
90 to 100 gallons. Well, low like that, they're going to be running probably 100 gallons an hour.
Jeez.
So, and if they do flying it up here from Little Rock, of course, they'll combine it, but if they fly it up here and then they do 3 passes or 4 passes, they'll end up burning 4 hours of fuel, 400 gallons at $5 a gallon is $2,000. But the airframe time on the airplane is, another $1,500 an hour.
Interesting.
Okay. All right, any old business to discuss today?
Is that right? Close?
Comments from the commissioners? They'll be in and out quick today, it looks like.
Yeah, Suzanne, can you kind of touch on our traffic count for January? It was kind of through the roof good.
It was good, yeah.
What do you see contributed or attributed to the activity? What all factors?
Weather was cooperating with us, and we did see a pickup of jet service that was coming through. Arkansas Children's Hospitals actually helped with that. The flight schools helped with that. Arkansas Helicopters has been really picking up on some of their maneuvers and stuff going on as well. So it's just been a combination of a lot of things happening.
So some of this flight school activity is on the ups.
We
then.
had gone from 3 planes to 5 planes here.
Wow.
So
Now, is that just Summit or is that all the
That's-
schools total?
that's just Summit.
Okay, plus aren't there another school or two?
Tommy Lee has a school, and I believe he's got some outside instructors that are working with him that are coming in and doing some flights as well. The East Terminal building, and like I said, Arkansas Children's Hospital has really kind of helped on the amount of flights that are coming in, because they're coming in 3 to 4 times a week. They don't always buy anything. They're usually here a little less than 8 hours.
So where are those coming from primarily?
Little Rock.
So do we project that number to go up as the hospital gets up and running full speed?
Sometimes they have more than 1 flight a day. It just depends on how many doctors have to come up here, but they're on average a minimum of 3 times a week.
I was talking to Mark Myers, executive jet, just a little bit ago, and he was saying that they're buying more fuel. I noticed the fuel sales here are pretty good too. I mean, they're holding their own. And they've got a larger jet now that they're operating with a charter with, and they're flying it more than they anticipated. But because of the range and the capability of the airplane, they're buying more of their fuel here because they don't have to, because of weight restrictions, limit their fuel to take off out of here like they used to have to do. It's one of the advantages of having larger jet aircraft on the airport. They can, if they operate in and out of here, they can take their fuel here both directions and save money, even carrying the fuel, because of the price differential depending on where they go. So that's a plus too, and that's another reason to try to attract that type of aircraft to the airport. We could get that size, we can't get up into the big Gulf Streams, but if we go ahead.
I was also going to say, we also started with CAA at the end of last year, which is Corporate Aircraft Association, gives discounts to Part 91 operators when they come in, and that's all just jet aircraft and turboprops that usually come in and use that. And we've heard of quite a few people saying that that was one of the reasons that they picked this airport, was because we were CAA.
Okay.
So Summit's really helping us there.
Well, hopefully our new restaurant will bring some folks in as well if they like the food. Like I say, I've heard good things on that.
So
So
the local sales tax generated on the airport comes back to the airport commission.
We do charge tax then.
spread the word.
That's right.
Come eat at the airport. All right, if there's nothing else, we will call the February 15th meeting adjourned.
Beautiful.
Great job.